there have been a few moves that have happened already that have kind of reset the landscape of where teams might be. So the first one, obviously, would be the Baltimore Ravens continuing to make a bevy of moves as they kind of evaluate their team and see where they're at. Obviously, they're not as dominant as they were last year. It looks like teams might have been able to figure something out about them. Nonetheless, that they are still in contention for their division. They're still in contention for the playoffs, and they are still Super Bowl contenders. They traded for Yannick Ngakoue and gave up a third-round pick when he just went for a second-round pick in the offseason. Not last offseason, this past offseason.
About 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 2 to 3 months ago. And I mean, I don't understand how this trade happened, but it definitely did. And you're taking that Baltimore Ravens defense with Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, Matthew Judon, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, the names go on, and then you added Yannick Ngakoue. The Baltimore Ravens attempted very hard to acquire him from Jacksonville when he was first on the block. Then they couldn't get a trade deal done. Then when he went up the second time, they tried even harder, and they were like, okay, we're willing to come to meet you where you were. And they said, we want something better. They got it from Minnesota. Minnesota obviously didn't work out. They gave their original trade offer to Minnesota. Minnesota was like, sold. So that's where they are now. They got Yannick Ngakoue 6 weeks later than they originally thought they would have him. And or I guess 7 weeks later. Now he is on the roster, and they look scary as shit.
Yeah, I like the trade for Baltimore. It makes sense to a degree, but how much better can this pass rush get? I don't understand. I know Yannick has been dominant so far this season. He's a top 3 defensive end, and he's been sacking everybody, but you already have Matthew Judon and Calais Campbell on the outside. So, like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know who's the odd man out in this situation.
It's a rotation. You continue to rotate.
You're not going to take Yannick Ngakoue out. He's an every down guy.
No, he doesn't have to play first down. That's a big running down. Throw him on second and third down. Unless
Judon just becomes a purely stand-up pass rusher, and he plays that outside role. There's such a plethora of weapons for Baltimore. They don't even know what to do with that. We can't even figure out what to do.
That's what we were saying for San Francisco last year, and that's what we've said for a couple of these teams. I mean, look at Tampa Bay, or you look at some of these other great defenses. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they continue to acquire pass rushing talent. You can never have too many pass rushers. That's what I'll say. You can never have too many players that can win one-on-one matchups and get to the quarterback, because you can only block so many players on the offense. And then if you have to block 7 guys, right? If you have to throw 7 blockers out there for 4, that you're never going to complete a pass for the rest of the game. It's just that simple.
Well, the word around Baltimore is that Yannick Ngakoue isn't just a rental player. He is going to be their guy moving forward, and Matthew Judon is going to be the man left out. He was tagged this year, and they're going to just move on from him. They'd rather have Yannick Ngakoue. So, I mean,
that tells me that contract negotiations haven't gone well.
It actually just occurred to me that Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue played alongside each other last year.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. But, yeah.
Get Jalen Ramsey. Bring him over, too.
You might as well. Baltimore's got it going on. They want to keep focusing on the defense when it's not an issue. It's really this offense. And when you have a guy like Quentin Spain, who was just released by the Buffalo Bills, and your guard position is just suffering after Marshall Yonza retired, how do you not focus on that before fixing something that's not broken? It just doesn't make much sense to me why Baltimore won't fix this offense first. I'm really struggling to understand what their mindset is and how they got to this point. Yeah, you just
they did upgrade their offense. They upgraded by signing Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant, he was signed to the practice squad, and that's really where he should stay. Wasn't it Lamar Jackson in the offseason who said, "I don't want him"? He said, "I don't want him. We don't need him." And now Dez Bryant becomes the 3 to Willie Snead, and you've got Hollywood Brown, but is Dez Bryant really going to help this offense? No, you're a run-first offense. You're built on the run. That's what you're predicated on. How do you fix the run? You fix the offensive line.
Well, Quentin Spain looks like he's signing with the Cincinnati Bengals. That deal's almost done.
I'm good. I'm glad for Joe Burrow. I am very glad for that man. He needs some protection.
And Joe Mixon.
So I mean, once he gets back, but yeah. That's great for them. And this is a lost opportunity for Philly, for Baltimore, and there's so many teams that could use Quentin Spain. Kansas City, stop getting Le'Veon Bell, go get Quentin Spain.
I agree with you. I agree 100%. It'll be very interesting to see how the Ravens go. This week is going to be a very big telltale sign for this Baltimore Ravens team as they face their division rival and the division leader in the Pittsburgh Steelers, the final unbeaten team in the NFL. We're going to see if that defense can hold up against the aerial assault that is Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson and Ray McLeod and whoever else they want to throw out there, plus James Conner in the backfield. Dominant offensive line.
Did you really just go Ray McLeod over Chase Claypool?
I said Chase Claypool first.
Did you say Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, he was second. Do you not listen to me? How dare you? How dare you?
I picked and choose those two.
No, I said Chase, Juju, Deontay Johnson, and Ray McLeod.
I heard Deontay Johnson, who should be listed first. He is their best weapon. But then I heard Ray McLeod.
Fantasy owners get on my nerves. But I will say this offense is going to test that defense. On the other side, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is no joke. And when Baltimore has very big holes on the offensive line, they haven't really been able to get much of a run game going. And their pass game is predicated on a guy who looks like a 12-year-old in Marquise Hollywood Brown. I don't understand exactly what they're trying to get done here, because Joe Hayden is going to engulf Marquise Brown. Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to play center field all day. And the moment that Lamar Jackson attempts a pass, is going to get picked off because he doesn't know how to throw the ball accurately. And I don't understand what we're doing here with Baltimore. They're making moves to strengthen their strength, but not, like you said, they're not addressing their needs. And it gives me a little cause for concern to say, okay, Baltimore, like, it's great that you have Yannick Ngakoue. Maybe he is your guy moving forward. And, a third-round pick for a long-term contract isn't the end of the world. It's not bad at all. But what are we doing to resolve the issues now? You're in a title contention time now. These players are not going to last forever, as we have seen every other place in the history of ever.